Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Teacher Talks tonight. Teacher Talks 55. Yes, tonight it's going to be our 55th session. Wow, it's really great. And for our 55 sessions, we have another very important educator and teacher trainer for ELT world. And most of you know him. Maybe some of you have attended his seminars, webinars, or maybe you had a chance to attend his face-to-face sessions in somewhere else or somewhere. But tonight we have a really important teacher trainer. And I don't want to take your time more, and I would like to cut it short. And tonight we are going to have a teacher trainer, Nick Manthei from Oxford University. Comes here. We are going to have our lovely session with him. Let me invite him. If he's here, we can start our session with Nick. I'm still waiting for him. Just a moment. I'm waiting for him to join. I am sure you are all waiting for him to listen what he is going to say tonight. Yes, he's here. I have invited him. Let me invite him one more time. I have invited Nick. Yes, again. Hi. Again. Okay. Yes. Hello. He can't connect, he says. I don't understand. Let me look one more time. I have invited him again. Yes, there he is. Oh,
Hi
finally.
there, sorry about that.
Hi, no problem. Hello, Nick. It's wonderful to see you.
It's good to see you guys. It's
Great.
good to see you too.
It's great. And I would like to say thank you very much to accept my invitation for Teacher Talks. And it's a really honor to have you for
Thank you.
55 session, Nick.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations. 55 is a lot. That means you've been doing this over a year, right?
Yeah, it's more than a year, I
Wonderful.
think.
Oh,
More than a year.
I think, you asked me first a long time ago, and I think I said no. And I think in February you asked me again, and I said no. But this
Yeah.
time, yeah, we made it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that you are very busy, and I never give up, and I never give up. And then I made it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, no, it's a
great.
real honor to be here. So thank
Yeah,
you so
me
much.
too. For
And
us.
the guests you have every week, you have someone phenomenal, both inside Turkey and outside Turkey. So you're doing a fantastic job with us.
Oh, thank you very much. It's really wonderful to hear this from you, Nick. It's really great.
I'm sure all the other participants always think the same thing. That's why they're plugging in. So
Yeah,
thank you
I
for
am
doing
sure
this.
they are. They are. I feel really great about it. All right, and I know that we are all busy, and I don't want to take your time too. And I'm sure that our guests also. Thank you very much, Mioja. Guests also wants to listen to you. So I know you for a long time, and maybe they also know you, but they want to know more about you. For this, can you tell us about yourself, please, and also a bit about your experience too, Nick?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I am from the United States. I was born and raised in Minnesota. And then I went to university, and while I was there, I did an exchange program with Marmara University. And so actually in 2003, I came to Istanbul and studied at Marmara University for 4 months.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was a very eye-opening event for me. So then I moved back, I graduated, and then I said, I really want to get back there. How can I get back there? So I started looking for jobs. I thought, maybe I could teach English. And everybody said no at that time. They said you need experience. So then, and I taught for a year there at a middle
Hmm.
school. And then I moved to Istanbul. And so then I was a teacher at, I think, two or three different schools in Istanbul for 7, 8 years or so. And then I
Wow.
moved to Izmir. And then I was, yeah, done a lot of things here in Izmir. And currently, yeah, almost 3 years now with Oxford University Press.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, Nick. Thank you very much. So, in this whole your life, so what was or what were some turning points in your own education?
Hmm. So do you know, Volkan, that I didn't study to become a teacher at all. I didn't study English. I didn't study to become a teacher. I studied
Wow,
anthropology and religious studies.
really? Wow,
Um,
this is the
but
first
this is
time I
what
heard
kind of,
about it.
yeah, so I didn't study teaching at all. So I was just with anthropology and religious studies. I really just wanted to get out and see the world. I wanted to travel. I wanted to see different cultures and religions and people and languages. And so, yeah, part of this job was me just kind of getting out and being able to travel. So I first started this job not because I had a passion for English or teaching, but it was because I had a passion for traveling. I really liked it.
Wow.
But then over time, I felt like I got better and better. And then I started, no, I really enjoy this job. So that was my undergraduate. But then, I got an ISELT, and that I became a much better teacher after that. I don't know if ISELT is still around. I know they have a
Hmm.
CELTA, but ISELT, do you know what ISELT is?
Uh, I don't know, I
ISELT,
think.
yeah, I've never heard of it in Izmir. They did have it in Istanbul a long time ago. So ISELT is a little bit higher than CELTA, but not as high as a Delta. So I did my ISELT, and that was quite eye-opening in Istanbul. And then I also did my Delta. I did some of my Delta here in Izmir. And then I also did my master's degree with a school called Endicott College. And that was interesting because I did my master's with an American university without ever going to America.
Wow.
I, yeah, it was the spring and fall semesters were online, and the summer semesters were in Prague. So I got to go and be in Prague at a campus for 2 summers and learn there. And that was a big turning point for me where just kind of being with other kind of international educators, learning from them, learning about their situations, but then also just kind of growing with the professors, learning from them, learning about research and how to use it in the classroom. Yeah, all of that
Hmm.
was really, really good. And right at that time of graduating, that's when I started Oxford. But even Oxford, I feel like working with Oxford, it's been like a master's course. I really have been learning a lot here too. So that's been really good.
Wonderful. It's a wonderful, Nick. So I'm sure that it's a great feeling to work in Oxford, that University
Definitely.
Press.
Yeah. No, it's,
Wonderful.
yeah, very good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Nick, my next question is about teaching and your teaching and philosophy. So, what is your teaching philosophy?
Uh, yeah, I saw this question. So what's funny is my teaching philosophy changes about every 3 months. I don't know, is it the same with you? Do you have one philosophy or does it change as you grow?
Yeah, I think it changed that from time to
Yeah.
time. I also
So I
change it.
had, yeah, I used to think this and then I think this and I keep kind of growing. Um, I think a teaching philosophy is like, yeah, we are always growing. We are always changing. We are always learning, right? It's the students are not the only students. We are the students as well. We are learning, right?
Exactly.
And a lot of times they are the ones who are teaching us. Um, I think, yeah, there's so many benefits, so many positive things about education. We can't kind of put it into even 1 hour. Uh, but a philosophy, I don't know. I think hard, like for me, it's about kind of if you work hard, you'll reap the rewards.
Mm-hmm.
You work hard, you find the best way to help students. If you're just using what is in front of you, like if you're just kind of taking some material and say, all right, kids, let's try to do this. It's not enough. It's part of your drive, your energy. Like Volkan, you have a lot of great energy. You're smiling, and I'm sure your students are,
Thank you.
so that's part of it. But then also being creative in how you think and how you put them into groups and how you get them to work. So I don't know if I have like a philosophy. I think it's just there is magic. There's something not tangible with teachers where you can't kind of describe it. It's this motivation, and maybe it's the humor, but it's also the creativity and the critical thinking. All of this stuff
Mm-hmm.
really makes a good teacher. One last thing I would like to say is that I do believe the teacher is the most important person at the school. It's not the principal, it's not the vice principal, it's the teacher. And so when you're in class, there's nobody else. It is just the teacher, and they're going to learn with you, or they're not going to learn with you. And so the teacher, are very, very important for those
I
students.
see. I see. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nick. And as you know that, Nick, the after the pandemic started, we all move from face-to-face education to online education, and from we have started again to face-to-face education, but we are still, the continue the online education in this period. So, what do you think about this distance education, Nick? What is your opinion about it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think there's some, not so good things, but there's some really nice things as well. Let's start with the nice things, because I think there's less nice things than not nice. So one of the nice things is there are no walls. Like, you really can go anywhere and do anything online. If you want to take your kids sightseeing to Machu Picchu, you can do that online. If you want them to do this, if you want to get them into some kind of weird group, you want to do some kind of interesting project that's not possible at school, it is possible. If you want your students to meet English language learners in Brazil and in Taiwan and in Russia, you can do that online, where you cannot do that in the classroom. So those are the positives. So there are some positives, but also, yeah, it is difficult. I imagine teachers and students, they're all going to need glasses next year. They're in front of the screen
Don't
nonstop,
don't talk
right?
about it. Definitely.
Exactly. They're in front of the screen nonstop. It's hard to get them engaged, right? Before the pandemic, most students were using their computers for games, for social media, which was fun. And now you're saying, no, stop that fun. Just sit for 40 minutes and look at this. And you're just like, I don't know. I think the primary function of the computer for most kids is to have fun. And now we're saying, yeah, do all these classes 8 hours a day and don't have that much fun. Yeah, it must be very difficult on students. Yeah, it's very difficult on parents. I do think there's a future. I do think online education will continue in university
Mm-hmm.
to some degree. So imagine, like, you're at university, like a university, and like some students, they're from outside of Izmir, right, or outside of Istanbul, or
Mm-hmm.
they're away. Instead of sending your son or daughter to Izmir, let's say, you could just have them do a year of Hazırlık online, right? It's a lot cheaper.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think a lot of these university instructors are very qualified. They're doing
Mm-hmm.
very good lessons. So I think for university, it might continue, but yeah, for primary, middle school, and high school, I don't see it continuing.
I see.
I think everybody misses the face-to-face contact.
Ah,
What about you?
definitely.
Do you miss it?
Of course. Of course. You can't imagine. I miss the class environment. It's really, really
Yeah,
much better than online. It's really
right,
great
right,
to
right.
see and great to have a contact in the
Yeah,
classroom with your students. You can't, explain the feelings that you have when you
exactly.
meet them in the classroom, and when you do something in the classroom, to see their faces, to see their happy faces is much, you can't
Right,
explain how good it
exactly.
is. Thank you.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so when I ask you, Nick, when you compare face to face and online,
Hmm.
actually you mentioned little bit about it, but would you like to add anything else when you compare it face to face and online education?
Yeah, I think a lot of us, include myself included, were fast to react. Let's say last June. Oh, online education is the worst. It is, awful and this and that. And I was one of these people. But I think it was because we just didn't have any training, right? It was a complete switch for everybody. There's very few teachers that were trained for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I think in the fall, teachers got better, especially during the winter. Teachers were actually really good, and so the more I met teachers as the year went along, I saw, wow, people are getting used to this and people are enjoying it. People are not all teachers, but were some that were really doing well, figuring out which websites to
Mm-hmm.
use with their children, how to create materials, how to share materials, how to connect with parents. Um, so I think as the kind of this pandemic kind of continued, a lot of teachers learned a lot more, became more okay with it. But also, it was also a long year, right? Everybody's just
Yeah,
like, oh, enough,
definitely.
right? Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think there's some silver linings. I think everybody got a crash course on online technology. I think before everybody was saying, technology is the future of education. Technology is the
Mm-hmm.
future. And now people are like, I don't want that technology to be the future, right? And in some ways, I think that's good. I think, yeah, we need to have a balance of, some technology, but also just a teacher in the classroom
Yeah.
that can kind of be with students. You, yeah, exactly. To be with students and to kind of to learn with them, grow with them, but then also just kind of be a role model for them. Because I think teaching English is not just teaching English; it's about teaching them how to be a better human, how about the cultures of the world,
Exactly.
about learning how to learn. There's just so many other things beyond, like, if we just did online, yeah, maybe we could kind of teach some vocabulary, we could teach some grammar. But I think, yeah, there's a human aspect that
Mm-hmm.
is difficult to do online.
I see. Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
I know that you are always busy and working on something and some topics or issues or something like that. So, and right now, what are you working on? Do you have something
Mhm.
special that you are working on?
Yeah, so right now, for the since I joined Oxford, I've been a instructional coach for many teachers around Turkey, and right now I'm getting accredited to become an international educational coach, and this is with an organization called GCI, Growth Coaching International, and it
Mm-hmm.
started in March. And it's going until September, and hopefully I'll graduate in September, and I'll be an accredited coach. And so, yeah, that is a thing that I'm doing right now and absolutely love it. I do think it's better than just kind of a 1 hour professional development session. Where just talking to teachers, talking about some kind of struggles they have, some goals that they have in mind, and talking it through, giving them some suggestions. I really think it's a lot more personalized than giving a 1 hour professional development session
I see.
that we often give. Um, yeah, so I'm working on that, and so it's
Okay.
been really good. So I've been doing that for, yeah, 3 years, but now, yeah, I'm going to be hopefully accredited coach, so I'm looking forward to that.
I see.
And then I'm also working on digital badging. So I started digital badging in Turkey with Oxford Express in April of 2020, right when the pandemic hit. And so it's been 14 months, and so every time someone joins an OUP
Mm-hmm.
webinar, we are giving them badges if they fill out our feedback form. You actually have lots of digital badges, right?
Oh, you can't imagine. I have
Yeah,
lots of bags.
exactly. And you have it from all sorts of different places too. I see a lot of them are from American English with you. Is that
Yeah,
right?
I'm following
Yeah.
from American English, from Cambridge, from Oxford University,
Mm,
and from
mm.
different the different how can I say
Publishers?
different, yeah, yeah, something like that,
Mm,
something like
mm.
that. I try to
Yeah.
follow and get something the useful for me.
So yeah, I'm doing that, and so I've actually really pushed hard for OUP Global to start doing this, and we're actually making some progress. So Latin America is starting to use digital badging. They started in August or September, and then now India and the Ukraine are using it. And so there is the snowball effect, and I think, yeah, very soon OUP Global will start rolling this out. So I'm really happy about that.
I see. Thank you very much. Nilgun says I also got 2 from OUP.
Wonderful.
Great.
One for me. Oh, wonderful. Is
Yeah,
she in
wow,
the
one of it
next
from
room?
you. No, she's not here. No,
Oh, she's not there. Okay.
no, she's not here. All right.
Okay.
So, you mentioned 2 terms like coaching and also digital
hmm
badging. Can you tell
hmm
us about more about coaching, Nick?
hmm So coaching is just a professional development conversation, a professional learning conversation where you sit with someone and you ask them what their goal is. What do you want to do? Do you want to, maybe it could be for next week, maybe it could be for next year. Um, and it could be kind of something small. I just want my students to speak more. That's fine. That's
Mm-hmm.
wonderful. It could also be something big. I want to be head of department next year. How do I get that job? Right. So yeah, and it's just kind of talking through that, how kind of we can help them. Sometimes it is kind of giving advice, but sometimes it's also just kind of being an ear for them, really listening, giving kind of,
Yeah.
summarizing what they're saying, but then also kind of helping them see for themselves what they really need to do to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of times we're all very busy. And so we're like, yeah, I need to do this, but I just don't have time. I need to do this, but I don't have time. And coaching says, no, we can find a way. We think that there is time and you know the actual answer. And so we help you kind of guide you to that answer. And then you go with that and try to reach your goals.
I see. Thank you very much, Nick. And
hmm
Nick, what about video coaching? So, can you tell
hmm
us about also video coaching and what are the benefits of it?
Yeah, definitely. So we've been doing video coaching for a while as well, and that's been really cool. So this is when, so instead of me coming to your school for a couple of days, right? You would take your camera or your phone and you would videotape yourself for 10 minutes, upload it to a portal called, we use a portal called VIO. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's called Video Enhanced Observation. And yeah, absolutely love that website. So you put the video up there, and then you also write there, hey, I need help with error correction and giving praise. And I looked through your video, 10 minutes of video. I looked through how I could help you with praise and error correction. And then I give you feedback. And then what's interesting is when teachers do this, they really don't, they're like, they see themselves and they're like, I don't feel very good. I don't like seeing myself. But they also say, wow, I do that. I look like that. I talk like that. They actually just, even if they never saw, like, even if they never got my feedback, just them seeing themselves, like, oh, that's so interesting. I didn't know I'm always touching my hair. I'm always kind of going to the side, or I'm always calling on the same students. So video by itself, even if they didn't send it to me, I think their teachers are learning a lot. But then also by getting feedback, by giving hints, by having kind of this back and forth between the coach, that's what video coaching is. And it was very helpful during the pandemic because we can't visit any schools, right? And so
Yeah,
they just upload their video
unfortunately.
online, and then we can coach them. Yeah, so I've had a lot of fun with video coaching,
I
and
see.
I think it will, yeah, continue to grow.
I see. Thank you very much, Nick. I'm sure that it's very useful for us to who wants to, I mean, like improve their teaching skills or techniques or whatever. I'm sure that's very useful. Thank you. And also, you just mentioned another term, which is digital badging. Can you tell us about
hmm
more, please?
Yeah. So digital badging. So right now, let's say, yeah, you go to a conference. I got my my son's cars. So you go to a conference and you get a certificate. And so here, let's say this is the certificate, and it says Volkan attended such and such conference. And then that's it. It really, it doesn't say anything else, right? It doesn't say on the back, who were the speakers? What did they talk about? What were the learning outcomes? How can they follow up with this, right? There's a lot of information just kind of left. And then also, not just the information is missing, right? It's also, generally, when you get this at a conference, people bring it home and they put it somewhere and they never look at it ever again, right? It just kind of goes in a drawer. Where with a digital badge, you can have it, you can refer back to it, especially if you're applying for a new job. You can refer back to it. So if you click on it, you're like, oh, this is what I've learned during this time. Or, Nick mentioned this website, let's say Mentimeter. Or they forgot and they could go back to their badge and look at that. They could also say, oh, I had a really good time and I want to share it with my friends. I want to share this certificate with my friends on social media, which is also very easy to do. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool things with digital badging. I do think, yeah, as you said, a lot of publishers, a lot of businesses are getting into this field. But I think it's very interesting and very exciting. But I think it's great to have all your credentials online. You're not going to lose them. If you, for instance, you're applying for a new job, and instead of having the long list of all the webinars you attended, you just have one link, and it includes all of the sessions that you've done. Yeah, I think that's great, right?
Yeah, and also I think you don't have the fear of like losing the certificate that you have. Yeah, right. And then you say, oh, where did I put it? Where is it? How can I find it? Did I lose it? Exactly. Or something like that? Yeah. That's question. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So thank you very much about the digital badging, Nick. So my next question is about the average teachers, Nick. So what do you think about the current PD options for the average teachers?
So let's say just a random private school in Anatolia. The current system is wherever they're buying books, they might get an hour or a day worth of PD training from the publishers that are working with them. Sometimes at the beginning of the year, in August, they might get some training from someone in maybe their head of department. Sometimes not. Maybe in the middle of the year, maybe someone will come. And sometimes the PD is not English specific, it's for education in general. So there's not that many options. I think also people, I think they get a bad taste for it if they kind of join a session and they're like, oh, that was really boring, right? Well, I didn't get anything out of it. If it's not applicable, they're just like, well, why am I doing this? And so, they choose to say, no, thank you. I'm not interested in this anymore. There are bigger conferences, but other people are like, it's Saturday. Why am I going to go to this? I could go to Cheshme, right? Well, so, right. But yeah, so it's, and there's only a few conferences in each city. So it's generally it's in Istanbul and Ankara, in Izmir. For the people for the guests outside of Turkey, it's usually in the bigger cities, and it's not in the smaller cities, and so that's kind of difficult. Sometimes it costs money, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, and then also you're kind of unsure if the speaker's going to be good, are they going to be bad? I think it is difficult right now as a teacher to just kind of see, all right, what do I need to look for? I think what is important is that they find like a few teacher trainers that they love, where they kind of go there like, that guy is great, or that girl is great. She is absolutely wonderful. I learned so much from Elna, let's say. And I'm going to follow her on Facebook, and whenever she does a conference, I'm going to do that. I think that's what you need to do. Your website, you actually share a lot of things on social media. Here's something coming up. Here's a webinar coming up. So if people are following you, they could actually follow a lot. But also there's burnout as well. Have you met teachers that are just like, oh, I've been to so many conferences and I don't care anymore? So there are teachers like that. And maybe they don't know exactly what they're looking for, and they need to be more specific in what they are looking for. But once they find that, I think it could be really fun.
Okay. Thank you, Nick. And thank you, Miguel, for your nice comments. Nick, my other question is about teacher trainer. I really wonder what are you going to say about it. No, can
Mm-hmm.
every teacher become a teacher trainer? And is it easy to become a trainer?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yes and no. Yeah. So a teacher trainer could be just someone, a teacher at a school. Let's just call it ABC Kodeshi, and they are happy to use a certain website. They're happy to use a certain technique. They're happy to use the course book, and they think they're doing really well. And they just show their colleagues how to use it, right? That could be a teacher trainer. I think that's where you actually have to start, is being able to just kind of get up
Mm-hmm.
in front of your colleagues and say, listen, I found this. This works. And I think the rest of you should think about using it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think uh, that is okay. But becoming like a teacher trainer and getting paid for it, that is more difficult. It is a long road and it takes time and energy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a straight road. I think right now there are courses. Have you heard? I'm sure you've heard, like, train the trainer,
Yeah, of course.
right? But then do they become trainers? I don't know. I think some do, but then some don't. But then also a lot of people that become trainers, like they're really on stage a lot, they've never taken this course. And so they've found a different way to get there.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, myself, I told you I never studied teaching. And then it was only because I was really dedicated to my job. I really worked hard. And when I was leaving it, a guy named Ben, he suggested me to Oxford.
Yeah.
And so it was through that. And so it was just kind of by chance. I met a woman, this is right before the pandemic. I invited a
Mm-hmm.
teacher to become a teacher trainer for us in Istanbul. And she said, what? I don't have a CELTA. I don't have a Delta. I need these things, right? And I said, CELTA is wonderful. Delta is wonderful. But what's really important is how you use this language. So someone can get this Delta, someone can get the CELTA,
Yeah.
fine, but it's really about if you can inspire, if you could work with people, if you can kind of work in different ways, you could be kind of thinking in kind of higher order and lower order, and just being able to kind of work the audience really. I don't know, there's just so many things to it. Yeah, sometimes you don't need these things, right?
Yeah. Oh, you're right. There's a comment. Nick, you spread positive energy, which is awesome.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Well, Volkan, you're always smiling, so you help me. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's great. Okay, I see, Nick. So, Nick, you mentioned about become a teacher trainer. So, what about a Turkish person? So, can a Turkish teachers become a teacher trainer?
That's a good question. So I think definitely, and there are Turkish teacher trainers. So Gökçe with Pearson, she is a Turkish teacher trainer. Duygu with UES, she is a Turkish teacher trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's with UES. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, UES.
US, okay. Yeah, there are Sinem Hoca. She works mostly with Cambridge, is that right? And she is a teacher trainer. Yeah, there's a lot of Turkish teachers. It's fine. There is a problem though. So in our business, we do get asked by a lot of schools, please have a foreign teacher, a foreign teacher trainer. And I think a lot of times they want the pictures. Oh, look, this person is from Oxford or whatever, right? Yeah, and so it is okay. Like I understand, like they're kind of doing this for a photo op. But if you want to be a teacher trainer and you want Turks to be more in the teacher, it is possible. And you just got to tell your school, hey, we're going to get the best person available to do the training. And it doesn't matter if they're a foreigner or not a foreigner, right?
I see.
But yeah, right now there are a fair amount of requests to have a foreign face, right? And so I think as a teacher, you just need to kind of be kind of strong and say, enough of it. We just want it doesn't matter if it's foreigner or Turk, we just want the best teacher trainer for us, the person that we can learn from the most. And I think that way, hopefully things will change and it could be a mix of people. And I think that's what it should be.
I see. Thank you very much. So it's also easy for us. It's not easy, but it takes time for us also to become a teacher trainer. So it's clear that we can also be a teacher trainer.
Definitely. So I'll give you an example. So do you know Gulsum that
Of
worked at
course,
yeah, yeah.
of course. Gülsüm Hoca,
So
Aydan
do you
Hoca,
know what?
yeah.
Wonderful. Do you know she was not asked by any publisher to speak at one of the Izmir Türkology conferences. She simply wrote to the head of department, Nilgün Hoca, and said, "Listen, I would just like to share what works in my class." And Nilgün Hoja says, "Excellent, thank you." So it is possible where teachers can just kind of say, I'm not with Cambridge, I'm not with Pearson, I'm not with Oxford, but I would just like to share my experiences. I would like to give myself a chance.
Of course.
And I think a lot of schools, maybe not all schools, but a lot of schools will give a chance to those teachers. Good for them. That's very brave. Yeah, I would say, why not try? Yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah, why not? Okay, thank you very much. So, my other question is, do you think teachers are paid enough?
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to ask this, so thank you.
This is a
That's
very
good. Yeah. No, it's a very interesting question. So I usually think of it because most of my time I worked at private schools, and so what I see now is the private school teachers and public school teachers, they both work very hard. Government school teachers, private school, they work really hard, very dedicated to their students. But then it's the private schools. Generally, they're not getting paid as much as the government schools. So I do hope there is a way that private school teachers can get paid more. I did ask. I talked to a school owner in the southeast of Turkey once, and he said he had troubles finding good
Mhm.
English teachers. And I said, "Well, pay more, right?" And it was interesting what he said. He said, "I actually do. I pay math teachers and English teachers the highest." And I said, "Huh? I had no idea. I thought that was interesting." But yeah, I think teachers in general should get paid more. They should get a higher standard of pay. Their job is really important, and I think this pandemic has shown that, right? But I also think there needs to be a change in the system of who gets paid what. So right now, I believe if you're a good teacher at your school, a lot of times you say, all right, what's the next step? My next step is vice principal, and then my next step is principal. But the problem here is when you do this, when your best teacher goes, well, then you're losing a teacher, right? So I do hope in some ways we could maybe lower the salary of the vice principal. So maybe the vice principal and the teacher gets paid about the same price, right? I think that would be good. That would encourage good teachers to stay in the classroom. Yeah, I think the more they stay in the classroom, the better for everybody. Um, but yeah, I do hope people are seeing the value. Parents are seeing the value
Mhm.
of education now. That it's not cheap. People need to get paid. Uh, there is kind of a struggle out there for some teachers. They're working very hard. Yeah, I do hope that there is more benefits, there is more time that they can get more money. Yeah.
I see. Thank you very much. Yeah, right. I think I agree with you that we have to get paid more. But okay. Okay, I got it here. I got it here. I'm not gonna talk about it. Maybe someone is listening to us, so I don't wanna get in trouble again. Okay, so what about my next question is about the key skills. So, what do you think are the key skills you will need in the future?
As a teacher trainer
Yeah, as a
or as a
teacher,
teacher?
teacher trainer. Yeah.
Okay. So, um, I think as a teacher, I think um, the skills are, I think we need to be more research based. We need to know,
Mm-hmm.
like, there's some hype, there's a lot of kind of buzzwords right now, there's this, there's that, but they need to know more things in depth. For instance, right now, there's a big buzzword, growth mindset. People are talking
Yeah,
growth mindset, growth mindset. What is it and how do you do it? That is really important. And so I feel like people kind of shoot out this kind of word, and then they think magic happens, but no, magic doesn't. It actually requires a lot of hard work by the teacher and students. um, And so I think it needs to be maybe more research based.
Mm-hmm.
I think the teachers now, yeah, they do need to find research that supports their ideas. They need to pick up things in their university when they're learning to become a teacher. They need to pick up things about what's going on right now. I talked to a group of university students that were going to become English teachers, and they didn't know what inquiry-based learning was. And they were probably fourth year in school. And so you're thinking, you went through 4 years of school and you've never heard this term? Like, it was interesting. So I don't know. So at the university, it needs to get better. And then teachers, they need to find places where PD is available. They need to learn from one another. But I also think they need to allow more kind of space to try new things. I think when teachers are given freedom, all right, you could try this, try that, see if it works. I think a lot of great things can happen with that. Are you familiar with John Hattie?
Who? Say again, please.
John Hattie.
No, maybe
So
I
he's a
read his name, but
researcher.
I can't remember.
So he's a researcher based in Australia, and what he does is he takes thousands of research papers, thousands a year, that all about education, kind of compiles them, and he says what works in education. So if you have one study, this works. You have one study, but if you put them all together, you really can see what actually works and what doesn't, right? And so what he says, the number one thing that helps students the most, academic achievement most, is actually when teachers really trust each other and work well together and are independent but also are connected and they work together. Yeah, that is when great things can happen at schools. And so I think that's a very big skill, to work with teachers kind of independently, but also together, and try new things, share their information, either in, I think Barak Iden, he talks about kind of reflective groups, right? That could be one way to do it. Sharing it as like a teacher trainer at your school is another way. But yeah, sharing that information, and then moving with it, and kind of not having just one kind of yearly plan, but kind of have a yearly plan, but kind of, all right, this is actually working, let's go with this, or let's take a turn here, this is not working.
I see. Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you very much. Okay, my next question is, I really wonder for every guest's ideas about it, and here is the question. If you could have one superpower to use in the classroom, what would it be, and how would it help?
Interesting. So I gave some thought to this because I heard you kind of ask this to someone else. I think my superpower would be able to see into the future. So, all right, I have students in September, right? I think I'm gonna use this, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna teach my books, my readers this way. And if I could see in June what they're gonna look like, how they're gonna use English, I think that'd be very interesting to me. Be like, they only learned that much, or wow, they really learned a lot. What did I do? How did that happen? There is an approach to this. I don't know if you have heard understanding by design.
I think no.
So there's not many schools in Turkey that use this approach, but understanding by design is just kind of like thinking about the end first. So whenever you go into a new unit, so for instance, your unit is about technology, let's say. I think you're a middle school teacher, is that right, Volkan?
Yeah, I am.
So let's say you're middle school, so one of your classes, the unit is about technology. Well, the understand by design is, all right, the unit is starting in 6 weeks. They should be able to talk about this, read about this, listen and comprehend this, and read about this. All right, now I know these 4 things. I know what I want my students to look like. Now let's work backward. How do I set this up? How does the course book help? What other materials do I need to use? Yeah, I think it's a really interesting approach, but I think, so this is similar. Seeing the end, what is the end result of my students? But then kind of coming back and say, all right, let's put the pieces together to make them good.
I see. I see. Very interesting. Thank you very much, Nick, about it.
You're welcome.
So, my next question is about the not the I mean like the new teachers. Like, what advice would you give to a new teacher who asks you, what is the best way for me to keep growing as a teacher, Nick?
hmm So I think it's a lot of things. It's kind of experimenting in the classroom, trying some things. You should, yeah, have a routine, but also try new things all the time, and then kind of try to figure out what works and what doesn't. Talking to colleagues is very important. Going to conferences, to webinars is very
Mm-hmm.
important. Um, yeah, I think they just kind of they need yeah, they need to kind of work hard, but also be open, talk to people, enjoy their time, right? Smile, enjoy having students, right? It's not all about grammar rules and vocabulary, right?
Exactly.
You know, it's about making sure these kids are okay and then they're safe and then that they have good role models, that they see, education is not just about exams, it is about other things as well. Yeah, I think they need to try to think about bigger picture than just teaching English.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much, Nick. So thank you.
Okay.
So, and another question is this. So, what will be the 2021 2022 school year look like for you?
But yeah, who knows? When this pandemic started, I thought it was only going to happen for 2 weeks. They would close schools for 2 weeks, and then they would and no, I was completely wrong. It looks like last year, it kind of died down in the summer, and then the winter got worse again. I think it'll be the same. I think we might have to do some online classes, not much, but I think there'll be some online classes next winter, if cases go really high. Um, I do hope, like in America right now, they are giving vaccinations to kids 12 and above. And so I do hope by next winter, if that came to Turkey, that'd be really wonderful for our students. Um, yeah, I don't know. I also think, yeah. So I think there might be some online learning, but I think, yeah, the majority of it, hopefully, well, anyways, hopefully will be face to face. Because I think that is probably the best way for younger students. University students, maybe not. But for younger students, definitely, I think,
I
the
see.
face to face is magic.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much. And only three questions left, by the way. And my all
Okay.
questions. Yeah, the time flies, especially
Yes,
with
definitely.
you, it flies quickly. Yeah, listening to you is great, Nick. Really.
Thank you. Well,
So,
talking to you is great.
my next question is, what is the single greatest truth that you think a language teacher should be aware of?
Mhm. So the single greatest truth is probably what I was just saying earlier. We're not in the class teaching English. We are teaching them so much more. So it's not just about, so you're teaching culture, but you're also teaching them just how to be a good person, how
Mm-hmm.
to kind of sit and raise your hand and be kind and say please and thank you, right? How to take turns, right? We do this in kind of speaking practice, right? But also taking turns is important in life. So you're actually teaching them so much more. So I think, yeah, the key thing is we're teaching people, to be good people, right? And I think
Uh-huh.
that's much more than teaching English.
I see. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nick. So, my next question is, what are your favorite three websites to suggest to
Mm-hmm.
use in teaching?
Mm-hmm. Have you heard of a website called Film English?
Film English. I think I heard, but I never checked. Let me write. Film
Wow, it
English.
is. Yeah, so there's a dash in there, film-english.com. Um, That is, yeah, it is. It blows my mind. Now they have a paid for site, but you could still kind of get around and see a lot of the free stuff. But what the guy does, I think his name is Kyron Dotterly. I'm sure I screwed this name up, but it's something like that. So it's a gentleman that's a teacher in Spain, and what he does is he takes a 2-minute video, usually, so it's a short video, it's an animation or it's not much talking. Sometimes there is talking, and he makes a 90-minute lesson plan for you. And
Wow.
yeah, you're just like, wow, from that 2 minutes, or for even, I've done videos that are a minute and a half from him, but he shows you how you can turn that into 90 minutes. And, we start with this, we go here, we go, and you're just like, wow. So
I'll
I
check it.
absolutely love that. I don't think I've used that website, maybe once this year. So I haven't used that in a long time, that website, but I'm a big fan of that website.
Wonderful.
We do have, like you were asked about for professional development for teachers. There is some professional development online. Sometimes it's through YouTube. Sometimes you just kind of Google it. So Oxford has their own. And so if you go to kind of OUP, EOT, professional development modules, there are modules. There's a link, and you can actually kind of go through that and learn at your own pace. And so I think that's really cool, especially at this time when people, they don't need to wait for webinar. They want to learn about the topic, they can go there and do that. There's also another website I really like. So have you heard of Adaptive Learning? This is a website done by Philip Kerr, and that blows my brain. That is just like, absolutely wonderful. So what the guy does, so he's kind of he's a teacher trainer, but a researcher, and he kind of really goes in depth on different topics about, for instance, like, what is it? The 4 C's. Where does that come from, and is that important or is it not important? These 21st century skills. I'm trying to think of some other topics that he goes into. Should we use subtitles? Should we not use subtitles? Right? What is the effect of that? Right? And he goes into the depth of that. And so he kind of talks about kind of a lot of different things. There's one really good one on creativity. What does that mean? What is the industry saying one thing and kind of teacher trainers are saying another thing? What does that mean? I think it's a very good website.
I see. I'll definitely check the Film English and adaptivelearning.com. I have already know a lot about OUP's webpage, but I will also check it too. Don't worry, I will also check it too. I check it every day, actually. I check it every day. But I'll check them too again. Just for you, I'll do it again. All right, thank you. And for these very useful web pages, Nick. I'm sure that they will, when our listeners, guests, when they hear about it, they will really love to use it. Okay, so, and the last question. Ready for it?
I'm ready.
The most difficult one, really. And ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What is your motto?
Sorry, you cut out. Can you say it again?
What is your motto?
My motto.
Do you have?
Good question. I don't think I have much. So I would say, work hard and play hard. Maybe that's it. Work hard and play hard.
Yeah.
Work hard. Make sure you're kind of working hard. You're planning things. You're creating things. But also have fun. Don't forget to have fun in the classroom.
Definitely.
Have fun with your students. Have fun. I would say work hard, play hard.
Yeah. Actually, that's my motto too, I can say. On my WhatsApp, it is written, work hard, play hard. Yeah. Yeah. One of my motto, I can say that. And I always say this in my, the live sessions with other teachers also. I mean, like, when we come to the end, I always say that, like, the students they don't need a perfect teacher. They need a happy teachers. Yeah, that's why I always say this, and I really like it.
Very true.
This
very
one.
True. Yeah.
All right. So, Nick, that's all for the questions. And
Okay.
as you know that it really time flies, and I really didn't understand how fast it. So before ending our live sessions, Nick, would you like to add some more things?
Yes, I would. So I would, a few things. I would be very curious about interviewing you. I would like to know more about you, your background, what you think about teachers. It's really interesting. So because I follow you on multiple kind of social media things, but I see you got digital badges here and there, and you're just like, wow, he's like a webinar maniac. He's going great. Like he's kind of doing everything. I have seen you live when I first met you several years ago, and you are very smart, and you know ELT
Thank
very
you.
well. So it'd be interesting to kind of see, where you've gotten these ideas, what professors have influenced you, what friends have influenced you. Yeah, I would like to, and then also, why are you doing this, kind of these interviews? Are you interested in doing a podcast? These are things I really want to know. So yeah, I think yeah, I would like to know this about you.
I
Have
see.
you done it? Has anybody interviewed you?
No, I think I did. Yeah, I did. I had once, I think from I forgot it.
Oh, I think
From
yeah, yeah. I saw this, yeah, yeah. You a few months ago. You put it on, yeah,
yeah,
Facebook or
I
somewhere.
forgot
Yes,
the
I
name
do.
of it.
I forgot the name as well. Yeah.
Uh, I tried to remember his name. Really, shame on me. Really,
Anyways,
how can I
I'll have
forget
to
it?
rewatch
Anyway,
that.
I
Mm,
had a really nice live session with him. We talk about the impact of COVID-19 and
okay.
uh, communication. Yeah, something like this. We talk about it. It
Hmm.
was really useful. It was really
Nice.
useful and very interesting topic. I had never had a chance to talk. That was my first time that I had a chance to attend as a guest to
Wow,
talk,
wonderful.
and it
Well,
was
I hope
really
it
nice. We
happens
had
many
a
more times for you.
and we had really nice times, and I tried to give a lot of, how can I say, uh, the chance to talk about it, and I really, the feel also I felt really interesting because I never done it before.
Mm,
That was my
mm,
first time that I had a chance to do it
mm.
as a guest, and they were listening to me, and they were wondering what I'm going to say about it. So, but it was
Wonderful.
really interesting feeling. So
Good.
why I started this, I was always, thinking that to do these things for a long time. Actually, I have been thinking this.
Mm,
So, but after the pandemic started, I said, why not? I can do this.
perfect.
So that
Good for you.
because everybody, that does this kind of things, and
Hmm.
so
That's
why
interesting.
not me?
So I started right when the pandemic started. I started going with digital badging, and
Uh-huh.
you started with these interviews. Cool. So I think, yeah, so
Yeah.
there are silver linings to this pandemic. We are kind of
Hmm.
forced to kind of change our perspective on
Yeah.
digital media, and you're doing it. I'm doing it. I think a lot of teachers are doing it. So wonderful. This is really good.
Exactly. I really totally agree about it. And so it takes really time for me to
Yeah.
do it. But finally, I decided, okay, now I'm going to do it, and it will be really fantastic for me. And I know also, I have a really great connections, really, the wide connections with the
Hmm.
teachers from all around
Hmm.
the world and from here in
Hmm.
Turkey. Every time,
Hmm.
I sit and I try to find new teachers, new people. By the way, I remember I checked and I found a Joel job. Yeah, I attended his webinar. Yeah, his name is Joel from
Hmm.
Angola. He's from
Okay.
Angola, by
Okay.
the way. I had my
You
first
remembered. Good.
live station as a guest. That happened in Angola, but not in. I didn't go
Nice.
there, of course, but it's an online.
Right, right, right.
That
Oh,
was
wonderful.
so.
Wonderful.
I decided to do it. So why not? I can give it a try. And
Nice.
this happened, and I really liked it. And I ask and I invite lots of teachers. And if
Mm.
you remember the first time it happens in I don't know 54 weeks ago that
Right,
started,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
after
yeah.
that it come here. So this is the
Wonderful,
55th session. So
wonderful.
who I got affected, the who actually, I always wanted to try this. I always wanted to try these things. Like, why not? But
Mm.
I'm doing it as myself. I'm alone. I don't have. I'm not working with any company. I'm not working with
Right, right, right,
anyone else.
right.
I try to do all of things on my own. Maybe it takes
Bravo.
time,
Good for you.
but I
Mm.
really love, to do it.
Mm.
It
Wonderful.
motivates me. Every week it
Mm.
motivates me more, you see?
Ah, nice,
And
nice.
also, what can I say? Actually, you asked some questions, but I I forgot some.
I do.
I did
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know.
remember.
Something like this, Nick. Yeah, I
Wonderful.
can say, but
Well,
it's
I hope, yeah, this
wonderful.
continues, and I think, yeah, you're a big inspiration for many teachers. So yeah, continue the good work.
Yeah, I try. Nigun says, "What a passion." Yeah, thank you. All right. Anyway, I think as I said, because we are going to the end of our live sessions, and you asked me the questions, and I think I could answer the
Yeah,
questions
definitely.
that you
Yeah, yeah.
asked. And would you like to add anything else or say something else to, or
No, I
that's
think,
all?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, enjoy your summers, everybody. Have a good summer break. Everybody needs it, especially get away from the screens. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll be face to face soon. Maybe not. Yeah, yeah. We'll see how this kind of year plays out. But I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to meeting teachers again and seeing their students and
We are
having a
all,
good
we
time.
are, yeah, thank you very much. We are all hoping this one. And all right then. So I would like to say thank you, Nick, to
Thank you.
accept my invitation for Teacher Talks one more time. And Nick Manthei with us. He was with us tonight, and we had a chance to listen his inspiring ideas and suggestions and advices to us. I had really enjoyed the session, and also I'm sure that our listeners also enjoyed the session too. And
Sure.
for the for the next time, next week, at the same time on the same day, we are going to be here and with another teacher trainer or educator, just like tonight. And I hope to see you there. And also, I would like to say thank you to our listeners, because if you are here, we are here. So never give up, just like us. And that's all for tonight. And I would like to say also good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever you are. So until until next time, take care of yourselves. And that's all from Teacher Talk session tonight. Take care of yourselves. Peace,
All
everybody,
right.
and bye bye, Nick.
Take
Good
care.
night.
Thank you so much,
Bye. You're
everybody.
welcome.
Take
Thank you very
care. Bye
much.
bye.
Bye.